Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 7th. Thanks for joining us.
We begin with a live traffic update. Stephen Cavazos joined us now on a fatality accident he's been tracking all morning so far.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mark, Stephanie, this has not gotten any better. Let's take a look at that video from earlier. We had a crew on the scene. They were unfortunately able to confirm that one man was killed. This crash was reported earlier around 6 this morning. We understand that police say that man was driving southbound on 281 along the Axis Road when he veered left and hit a concrete pillar. Now, no other vehicles were involved, but unfortunately, that driver did die from his injuries. We are still working to get a little bit more information, but right now, as you can see, as we bring that image back to TransGuide, just still seeing those delays. Also want to show you another image right as we can bring this up along 281 there at Bitters. You can see it is just at a standstill right now, and that Axis Road, people are having a hard time getting around. But let's go ahead and show you what it looks like on the map. Not any better. You can see traffic backed up about 3 miles from where that crash was reported as we bring you in right there at 281 southbound near Nakoma Street. Now, we are looking at alternative routes for anybody that still needs to navigate their way through that. So quick detour here. You can take a right on Thousand Oaks. It's still early enough to get onto Thousand Oaks Drive. What you'll do then is take a right onto Jones Maltzberger. Now, keep in mind, you may hit some traffic lights, but it's probably better than just sitting in that traffic. We are hoping that this will be cleared before the show wraps, but even if you're traveling in from 281 in Bulverde at this hour, a 37-minute drive time. Just a mess out there, but we will continue to watch this area closely. Again, 281 at Bitters, another shot from that messy scene. We'll have more updates right here on GMSA at 9. Guys.
Stephen, thank you.
Let's look at today's 9 at 9.
The rate of young people taking their own lives with guns is now at its highest point in more than 20 years. That's according to the advocacy group Every Town for Gun Safety. For years, up until 2020, the CDC listed accidents as the leading cause of death among youth. Experts say this is just as much a gun safety issue as it is mental health.
The full Senate GOP conference is meeting today to discuss potential gun reform talks. There's still a divide between Democratic and Republican lawmakers. Democrats can get gun bills passed through the House on a party line vote, but they would need at least 10 Republican votes to break a filibuster in the Senate to get a possible gun package advanced.
A survivor of the Buffalo supermarket shooting wants the alleged shooter's parents to testify under oath. Documents filed last week also requested to have all evidence, devices, documents, and electronics used by the suspect preserved. Peyton Gendron has pleaded not guilty to 25 counts.
The number of confirmed or probable cases of monkeypox has risen to 31 in the U.S. As the numbers grow, health officials worry there could be community spread of the disease, meaning infected people could give it to others in the U.S. To combat that, testing and vaccination is ramping up.
Gas prices surged 33 cents a gallon in just the past week. That's nearly $2 more per gallon than 1 year ago. According to AAA, the average price for gas in San Antonio is around $4.52. In Texas, it's up to $4.60, and nationally, it's about $4.92 a gallon.
Immigration attorney Jessica Cisneros is requesting a recount of her tight runoff election against Democratic U.S. Representative Henry Cuellar. The race remains too close to call nearly 2 weeks later. Cuellar was leading Cisneros by 187 votes as of Monday night. According to an Associated Press count, the AP will not declare a winner until the recount is completed.
United Kingdom Prime Minister Boris Johnson survived a vote of no confidence. Johnson's fellow Conservatives voted 211 to 148 to keep him as both the head of the party and Prime Minister. Johnson has come under fire for parties thrown while Britain was under lockdown due to COVID-19. Rules forbid another challenge to his leadership for a year.
Elon Musk has threatened to walk away from his deal to buy Twitter. He says he asked the company to give him data on fake accounts, but Twitter hasn't done that yet. And Musk says that's a breach of the deal. Twitter has said bots and fake accounts constitute less than 5% of its users, but Musk thinks it's much more.
Stock futures overnight have been pointing to a lower open on Wall Street today after markets ticked higher on Monday. The Nasdaq gained 0.4%, the S&P closing 0.3% higher, and the Dow finishing up a fraction. Investors are still trying to figure whether the economy will avoid a recession as Americans face higher prices and higher interest rates. And that's today's 9 at 9.
And taking a look outside with live cam, 79 degrees, but we broke a record. yesterday, Justin.
Yeah, we just didn't break it. We shattered it. The old record was 101 yesterday. We got up to 104. Felt like 106. Brutally hot. It wasn't just us. Across the state of Texas, there were more records broken. Del Rio yesterday got up to 110, beating their old record of 109. It was 106 in San Angelo, Abilene, same. That's where kind of the records are set there, right in the state's middle section. But we're going to see more heat today, potentially close to another record this afternoon. Here's a look at the forecast heat index, the feels like number. When you factor in the humidity, we'll get the heat index maybe not quite as hot as yesterday, around 103 here in San Antonio by 4 or 5 o'clock. But heat indices are still in that danger zone, so there's still a heat advisory in effect. This goes from 1 p.m. through 9 p.m. this evening, and basically everybody needs to be aware that the heat is going to be way up there today. All right, what's ahead? What are we looking at now? Will we see more records today? I think it's possible. We've got some more potentially record-challenging heat throughout the week. We're also keeping eyes on a batch of Saharan dust, which is headed our way. We'll have more on that. Plus the aquifer. Are we close to stage 3? Those details coming up in just a bit, guys.
Justin, thank you. In your morning headlines, a big rally over in Houston for WNBA star Brittany Griner still being held in Russia.
Plus, how would you like a 4-day work week? Less hours, same pay. And we're going to introduce you to the youngest UPS delivery guy you have ever seen. David Sears is here to explain all this morning.
Morning, Mr. Sears.
Guy about that tall.
About that tall.
Packages about that tall. Got it done, though. We got that for you in just a second. We'll be right back with that. A rally last night outside the Toyota Center in Houston for WNBA star Brittany Griner. Griner still being held in Russia after she was stopped at the airport during a search. Cannabis oil was found in her luggage. According to Russian authorities, Griner has been held for more than 100 days. Former Marine Trevor Reed, who was held in Russia for 3 years before being released, told the crowd what kind of justice Griner faces.
There is no justice in Russia. Brittany and Paul will not receive justice in Russia. They're not going to receive a fair trial. They will not receive a fair investigation. They will be there as hostages until the United States gets them out.
Griner also received the support of the NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, who is calling for her release. So how would you like a 4-day work week? And we're not talking 10-hour days, just a regular old 8-hour day, only 4 of them. There are several companies in the UK giving it a shot for the next 6 months. 70 companies are participating. The big key, employees only work 80%, but they still get a full paycheck. The employees say they can still give their boss 100% of their full week's productivity. That's what the study is going to be finding out. Part of the idea is born out of the work from home system that came to being during the pandemic. Now, companies want to see if they can bridge the gap between working from home and workers coming back to office full time.
It turns out that in virtually every industry, it's possible to do 5 days worth of work in 4, sort of without stressing people out.
Some opponents say that it could destabilize the economy, putting undue pressure on businesses, especially those that have slim margins. What would you say to those people?
There's no company I know of, and I've studied hundreds at this stage, who have moved to a 4-day week and lost money.
The industries taking part in the trials include banking, retail, and education. We will know how it works out in December. And finally this morning, meet the youngest UPS delivery guy you've ever seen. That is 70-year-old Drew Bosman. Drew has Down syndrome, and during Halloween, he dressed up in a UPS brown uniform, and that was all it took. He decided he was ready to take on delivering packages, so he wanted to start delivering those packages to his friends. UPS was able to help with that dream. They brought him a little pint-sized UPS truck, a lot of boxes along with a little dolly that he can handle, and off to school they went.
We heard that he loves delivering, loves UPS, and he loves bringing joy for what we do to other people.
This little kid who would do anything that anybody asked freely, and we get a call from this lovely corporation willing to do something like this for us, and it's just everything. That's what Drew's here to do. He does it to everybody he meets, and it just moves you to tears.
Nothing better than a UPS delivery guy with a smile on his face all the time.
So the slogan now is, what can Drew do for you?
There you go,
Very
Mark.
good. Like that one. Yep.
Aww.
Awesome. Thank you, David.
All right.
9:07, about 79 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Justin Horn is going to take us inside Natural Bridge Caverns, where there are new passages and chambers being discovered all the time.
Plus, local nonprofit needs your help to accomplish their mission of helping people experiencing homelessness, as they're seeing more people than they were pre-pandemic.
However, before that, we're going to introduce you to our next great graduate who's making her family proud by being the first one to graduate from college. We're going to be right back. She's a first-generation college grad, and she tells us it was her mother who instilled in her that education is a priority. In today's Great Graduate Series, we are introducing you to Cheyenne Zavala, a graduate of Texas A&M University, San Antonio.
I'm a first-generation grad. I've got a huge family, so it means a lot to make it to this moment.
Cheyenne Zavala just wrapped up her academic journey at Texas A&M University, San Antonio. She graduated in May with a bachelor's in English, a minor in education, and a concentration in rhetoric writing. She was also awarded the Senior of Distinction during the university's Outstanding Senior Award ceremony. However, Cheyenne tells us she's not done. She wants to go back and get her master's as well.
One thing that my mom kind of drilled in me from the very beginning was putting school first and making it a priority. So even though I've had a ton of fun here and I've made such amazing memories, I definitely kept school at the forefront of that.
Cheyenne also credits the organizations that she's been a part of for her success and the campus community.
When you find that sense of community, it makes it so much easier, you know, to have a group of people who are going through that journey with you, to be able to push you and lead you and say, keep going, and that amazing support group.
Juan Espinosa, the Assistant Director for Transfer Student Engagement, says Cheyenne is motivated and always pours herself into her work. And when it comes to her future, he hopes that she finds her new home at A&M San Antonio once again.
She never hesitated to use her voice. Granted, it was a student voice, but it was hers and it was unique to her. But that is how I see Cheyenne, just someone that you can really depend on and lean on for that support.
Boy, how proud is her family?
Yeah, super proud. Congrats to Cheyenne. She's excited. You know, she wants to get her master's, but she's also hoping to call Texas A&M San Antonio her home once again, you know, with a job, hopefully. So fingers crossed for you. I know you'll do well.
I'm sure it will work out one way or the other.
Yeah. Pretty good.
Justin joins us now, and there's something else going to be in the air other than heat and humidity down the road.
There's two things we can count on in the summer, and that is heat, of course, but also the Saharan dust. It's given. We see it every summer, and we're going to get another batch of it coming up. We've been watching, you know, as it develops there across the Atlantic, and that flow is starting to bring it back across. Now, the last batch we saw really wasn't that significant. It was just a sort of a light haze in the atmosphere. But this one looks a little thicker. It works its way into the Caribbean by Friday evening and then eventually into Texas, I think, early next week. Sunday, 6 p.m., starting to see a little bit, but I think more of it by Monday and Tuesday. And that will cause just sort of that haze in the atmosphere. It brings some nice sunrises and sunsets, but it also causes some issues for people with asthma and stuff like that. So we always want to make you aware that that is headed our way. We have some time to watch it. As we look at the high temperatures from yesterday, boy, they were brutal, record-setting. 104 here in San Antonio, that was a record. 110, we mentioned that in Del Rio, also a record. 108 Eagle Pass, 108 in Carrizo Springs, 111 in Cotulla yesterday. 101 in Kerrville, 104 in New Braunfels, the list goes on and on. Just about everybody was in the triple digits. We now have 7 triple-digit days here in San Antonio for the year. And to put it into perspective, it's 2009. It still leads the way with 59, but we are on pace to be right up there with 2013, 2011, and potentially 2009. Let's hope not. Let's hope not. But you know, this number is a little deceiving too, because yes, we've seen 7 100-degree days. We've also seen several days where we were at 99. So, you know, we look at the stats, but that gives us a good idea. Here's a look at the time lapse, and we've had some clouds this morning. They haven't lasted very long. We're already starting to see those scatter out. A lot of blue sky, 80 degrees. Dew point is at 70, and southerly winds at about 13 miles per hour. And the cloud cover is a little bit thicker out near Del Rio and Eagle Pass. My hope is that that helps with the heat out there a little bit. We're just not seeing it here in San Antonio, just a few clouds at the moment. And temperatures have made their way up to 78 in Helotes, 78 Boulevardy, 81 in New Braunfels, and 75 right now in Seguin. The dew points, as we mentioned, are right there around 70. So we are in the oppressive category. Yes, the heat index will be a problem again today. And here is a look at that forecast heat index. 94 around lunchtime. And then the feels like number will be close to 103 this afternoon. That's down a little bit from where it was yesterday, but not much. And we're still very much in that dangerous territory, as we say, with heat advisories still posted. And this is going to go 1 p.m. through 9 p.m. You can pretty much expect that we're going to see some heat advisories throughout the week, into the weekend, maybe even into next week. We just got to be careful out there. Here is the setup. There's our ridge of high pressure. It wobbles around here, but this heat high just does not move much, and that is really unfortunate. Even through Sunday, it is over top of us, and as long as it's there, it likes to build on itself. Okay, it dries things out. When you get drier and hotter, it actually allows that high to strengthen even more. And we getting stuck here underneath one of these things, it can mean a prolonged time of heat and humidity, and I think that's exactly what we're going to see. Okay, extended forecast, 101 Wednesday, 101 Thursday, 102 Friday. We're going to bump up those temperatures just a little bit over the weekend, close to some records. And even going into next week, we've still got highs in the triple digits.
Very hot.
Very hot.
Thank you, Justin.
9:17, about 80 degrees.
And coming up after the break, we are remembering one of the innocent lives lost in the Uvalde school shooting and how her father wants her to be remembered. Plus,
coming up next, a nonprofit helping people experiencing homelessness says they are helping more people since the pandemic started and need your help.
281 Tacoma is still a mess right now due to the late stage investigation of a fatality accident earlier, looking at southbound traffic that's having to divert to the parkway. And look at the main lanes right now. This continues to be a big problem right there by San Antonio International Airport on Highway 281. 9:21 as the city continues to see an increase in the number of homeless people battling addiction and mental illness. Local nonprofits helping them, like Christian Assistance Ministry, are feeling the pressure and the costs are adding up.
the organization says they were helping 50,000 people pre-pandemic, and now they are helping over 70,000 people.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live from their offices downtown to explain the services the nonprofit provides and how you, the viewer, can help. Good morning, Tiffany. How does this place help people that are experiencing homelessness?
Good morning, Mark and Stephanie. They've been helping throughout the entire pandemic. They never closed. When people had nowhere to go, they came here. Here they provide food, clothing, and even financial assistance. And they've even partnered. Just a few weeks ago, they started a new program with SAPD. To talk a little bit more about this, we have Dawn, the CEO and president, here at CAM. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you talk to us about this new program and how it's been helping people?
Sure. We started realizing that the SAPD were often bringing us clients or calling us about someone on the street that was causing trouble. And so I kind of woke up one day and said, it seems like we're doing a pilot program, but unofficially. And so we kind of called them up, the downtown SAPD Bike Patrol, and said, what would it look like if we partnered with you? We have an outreach worker. We have two actually who works with the unsheltered street homeless. And one person at a time, or we like to call the program one life at a time, we're helping assist the SAPD with chronic homeless that may be causing trouble on the street, or even providing them with shoes or pants or something because they've run across a client that's disheveled or soiled themselves.
Since this program started, how many people have you helped?
Now that we're actually counting it, we notice that about 50 per month are what we call police assists. So we're assisting the police, either going out to them or they're bringing someone here. And then also we're counting about 30 people that we're actually able to get off the street per month.
There's also been an increase of help, so there's an increase of funding that is needed. Talk to us about the concerns that you have.
Absolutely. As we're all impacted by the economy right now, the cost of food, even the cost of gas where we have to go pick up items, these are all things that we provide for clients. We provide about 5,000 sack lunches per month for the unsheltered street homeless. We provide thousands of groceries for families who are working poor and struggling in their home. And so the cost and need is so great that it's a big burden and cost on us when we want to be able to say yes. We don't want someone showing up here and not be able to provide them the food they need.
How can people help?
So people can help by volunteering. We're mostly a volunteer-run organization. They can donate gently used items or even food items. And then money is very helpful. We're having to purchase the items we provide clients. We offer showers here for our unsheltered street homeless, and we're purchasing shampoo and hygiene items and underwear and socks and the daily sack lunches. So food and the money to purchase food is very important.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time this morning and sharing this new program with us on GMSA at 9. We'll have more details at noon. Back to you.
Tiffany, thank you. Well, 2 weeks after the terrible tragedy in Uvalde, we are making sure the names of the innocent lives lost are not forgotten.
Anne-Marie Jo Garza had just turned 10 years old when she was senselessly killed. Her biological father sat down with Lee Waldman and said he's vowing not to let his daughter's death be in vain.
I think me and her, we had that very special connection.
The painting of her smiling makes it feel like little Anne-Marie Jo Garza is still in her father's living room.
Still have her clothes in the closet. Still have her sandals there.
We asked about the day Anne-Marie was born, May 10th, 2012. Her father, Alfred Garza, and stepmom, Viviana Granados, couldn't help but share a laugh.
The day she was born was very, very emotional. Probably just as much as emotional the day I said bye.
From a young age, he wanted to be a dad. Anne-Marie made that dream a reality.
I mean, that's the best title I've ever had, as father.
Anne-Marie was the first of the 21 victims killed inside of Robb Elementary to be buried. The Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas posthumously awarded her the Bronze Cross, saying she did all she could to save the lives of her classmates and teachers.
For her to be honored that, it makes me proud.
Anne-Marie's cross in downtown Uvalde is covered in flowers and other tributes. Alfred Garza is now a part of a unique family, one filled with the heartbreak of losing a loved one in a mass shooting.
We can't just say, oh, this happened and just sweep it down the rug. No, something has to change.
Garza and his lawyers sent a letter to Daniel Defense, the makers of the AR-15 allegedly used by the Uvalde shooter, demanding information on their marketing to teens. He promises to make the information public and to keep fighting for justice for his baby girl.
I don't want my daughter's name tarnished by just how she died. I prefer to remember how she lived.
Lee Waldman, KSAT 12 News.
926, about 80 degrees. Here's a look at what is still to come.
Good morning, I'm Max Massey. We are here at the Briscoe, and we are talking about being interactive with art. Take a look, just hanging out with the boys throughout the morning. We're being live throughout the morning. We're going to explain how you can get involved.
And when we come back, Erica Hernandez will be joining us to talk about her latest South Texas Crime Stories podcast episode released this morning. She's also going to talk to us about her 3-part series that we aired yesterday during our newscast.
And Stephen Cavazos is back with an update on this situation on Highway 281 near San Antonio International Airport. We'll be right back.
Good morning, everyone. Time now is 9:30. We are continuing to watch this area at 281 at Bitters. It has been the problem spot of this Tuesday morning. Unfortunately, we know that it is a deadly crash involving just one man. Police tell us that he was driving on these access roads of 281 southbound when he somehow veered left onto a concrete pillar. Again, details are still limited at this time, but we know it has snarled traffic through that area, and you can see it right there. The camera a little shaky from TransGuide, but one of the problems that we've noticed is anyone trying to make their way onto the access road of 281 will encounter that traffic. And you can see there is some minor improvement. Earlier, we mentioned it was down to about 3 miles, but now just backed up to 2. Still a mess, though. So as I mentioned, anyone heading through Wurzbach Parkway, be on the lookout. We have a few detours here for you. Now, if you are trying to get onto 281 southbound, what you can do is take a right at Blanco Road, then get onto Ramsey and take 281 southbound. You'll avoid that red and yellow. Now, when you're trying to get onto those northbound lanes, what you can do there is just take a left at West Avenue and then then take a right onto Bitters, and you'll hit 281 northbound. But keep in mind, this is a very busy area still. First responders still out there. Travel times coming into the area on 281 southbound is about a 36-minute drive time if you're trying to make your way into the downtown area. But one last look here. Hopefully before the show wraps, we'll have a better update. But for more information, you can always head over to KSAT.com for the very latest on this developing story. Mark, Stephanie.
Stephen, thank you for that live update. Well, yesterday, South Texas Crime Stories took a look back at the double murder that took place at the legendary Taco Land bar and music venue.
This morning, Erica Hernandez joins us to talk more about these stories and what's ahead on the podcast. Good morning.
Hey, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's
Good.
Tuesday. Good
It's
morning.
Tuesday, I know. Well, you know, we were just wondering, why do such a deep dive on this story?
So I don't know if you remember, and we touched a little bit about it yesterday in one of the stories. This took place on the night the Spurs had won their third championship. So maybe the coverage was there, and we've kind of touched on it off and on, especially when the trial was taking place. But we never really knew how this happened, why this happened. Everybody always knew about Ram, the owner, and Taco Land itself as a music venue. I also wanted to know more about the other man that died in this, Doug Morgan, his doorman, which we did a whole piece on him in his life. And then, of course, we've never heard from the man who committed this crime. And when he agreed to do this interview, we decided that if we were going to interview him, we were going to share the whole story as well.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the story, and then we'll come back and talk more about that.
I had nothing to do with this crime.
Over and over throughout our entire interview, Joseph Gamboa denying taking part in the 2005 murders and robbery at Taco Land on West Grayson Street.
Being in this position to be wrongful convicted of something that I didn't do, it's wrong.
He does admit being there with his friend Jose Nájera the night of the murders, but leaving before anything happened.
I was there. I never denied being there. I was there, and I played a game of pool, bought a beer, and left. And that was it.
Evidence and eyewitness accounts told a different story. Gamboa and Nájera entered the bar and began playing pool. But then Gamboa got into an argument with owner Ramiro Ram Ayala and shot him in the stomach. The two men then proceeded to rob the bar and shoot two other employees, Doug Morgan, who died of his injuries, and Denise Koger, who survived. Gamboa says that there were inconsistencies with the police investigation and that his trial in 2007 and appeal for retrial in 2013 were unfair and that Koger had misidentified him.
She gives an inaccurate, honest identification of the person that did the crime. You know what I'm saying? I'm not 5'8". I'm not 5'7", 180, 190 pounds.
Gamboa's accomplice Jose Nájera pled guilty to this crime and took a plea deal for 50 years. He died in prison in July 2015. As for Gamboa, he waits the day either he gets a retrial or an execution date.
I'm just gonna leave this in the hands of God, you know, and just let him guide the way like he has.
All right, back to interview now with Erica. After that death row interview with Joseph Gamboa, Erica, what were your final thoughts on him and what he had to say?
It was a little frustrating, you know, because he kept sticking to his story that he had nothing to do with this. And I would try to shift, and we would take the interview somewhere else. I would talk about his life in San Antonio, and then I go back to it. And I did that multiple times, and each time he just kind of stuck his ground and said he had nothing to do with this. And it was everybody else's fault. It was the trial's fault. It was the judge's fault. It was the prosecutor's fault. But never actually taking any responsibility for anything at all. And then one of the last things I kind of asked him was, do you have anything to say to the survivor of this crime, the victims' families? And he put it back on himself. Well, it's all about me, all about me. So I left it kind of frustrated, and I was pretty much done after that.
And the podcast out now dives deeper into the story as well.
Yeah, so we do the extended interview. So part 1, which came out this morning, talks more about Ram, about Taco Land, and of course an extended interview about Doug as well. And Lee and I take a look back at this crime, the evidence, and how it led them to be arrested. And then part 2 will come out next week.
All right, so you mentioned part 1, part 2 coming out next week. What's that about?
So it'll be the extended, almost full interview with Gamboa. And then we have a criminal psychologist that's just going to join me and Lee, and he's going to analyze that interview I had with him. And he has a really interesting take that kind of made sense on why he was answering the way he was. I mean, he's smiling throughout our interview. So he gives this kind of an analysis of that interview, and I think he was pretty right on the type of person on who Gamboa was. So that will be next week.
Okay. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, it's a really interesting take.
South Texas Crime Stories with Erica Hernandez and Lee Waldman.
And Lee Waldman.
Okay. Erica, thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Let's look outside with live cam. We're at 81 degrees now, just getting warmer and warmer. Justin?
We'll be in the 90s by lunchtime. Hey, if you were watching yesterday, I mentioned that I had a run-in with a scorpion. Landed on my arm, thankfully, didn't get stung. But take a look at this picture on our KSAT Connect. This is out of Seguin. Sylvia sent this in. Look at all those scorpions. That's frightening. She found that at her house under a board. Yikes. They are out this time of year, so be careful out there. Thank you, Sylvia, for sending that in. 80 degrees at the airport right now, but it feels like 83, 82 in Converse feels like 86. It's 77 up there in Bandera, feels like 79. So already starting to see that heat index kick in, and it will only get worse. Now, yesterday, the heat index went as high as 106. I don't think we quite get there today, but hot is hot, right? The heat index around 103, 104 this afternoon. Pollen count is in, very consistent, just like the weather. Molds are low at 480. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast by noontime. I mentioned we'll already be in the 90s, 91 degrees. By 3 p.m., 100, 101, 4 o'clock, 102, our high temperature at 5 p.m. Good news here is we will see a breezy southeasterly wind, so at least there's a breeze out there. But the heat index will still be fairly high, and then we'll see those warm temperatures going into tonight. As promised, we're going to look at the aquifer and see where we stand there. That's coming up in just a couple minutes.
Justin, thank you. There's a new and exciting exhibit opening at the Briscoe Western Art Museum downtown. From bucket list art to interactive STEAM, it is an experience to say the least.
Max Massey joins us live from the Briscoe. And Max, what's going on over there?
Hey, Maxwell.
Good morning, guys. Look at that. We are in the art. So here, and you can see Billy Caldera, our photographer, walking around. You're in the art. It's pretty cool. There's a sensor at the bottom. It picks you up and it puts you in this bucket list art. So we're joined here with Meredith. So Meredith, explain why is this important for visitors to actually be immersed in the artwork?
Yeah, it's a fun element of our new exhibition, The Sons of Charlie Russell, here at the Briscoe Western Art Museum. We're immersing our visitors in the art because we say that art tells stories, and you can be immersed in that story because you're part of Western art too.
And guys, this is just one of, see, it's changing. We just beat it. I was a little worried it would come to us and it would be a blank screen, but it changes. There's 4 different pictures you can be a part of. We were hanging out with the boys at the campfire. That is not the only, there's the boys at the campfire. There's not the only interactive part of this exhibit. We got art investigators over here.
Yeah, so it's a fun element. You pick up a gallery guide as you go through the exhibition. You look at things like originality, technique, composition, aesthetic awareness, and then you can come here and you can vote between these 2 pieces of art. Pick up a little token and drop it on in.
Can I do that?
Yeah, go for it.
I really like the aesthetic awareness. So where do I do this?
Right here.
Okay. Oh,
there you go.
All right, so we know the last 2 years have been tough for so many museums around the country. What does it look like for you guys?
Well, it's been tough for us too, but we're happy to be back. As we see tourism increase here in San Antonio, we have more visitors than ever. So we're really happy to be back on the Riverwalk and see the people come back through.
And I know you guys have special initiatives now, trying to get locals to come to the Briscoe. What are those?
Yeah, so we have a free Locals Day every first Sunday of the month. It also includes admission to our special exhibition. So a local can come here for free.
That is so cool. And speaking of locals, speaking of summer exhibitions, why are we looking at a red moon?
Yeah, so all summer long, the Briscoe has fun and creative stuff. We have a program called STEAM Ahead. This June, we're going to do a STEAM Ahead program focusing on this red moon, and we're going to create fizzy moons with families and kids.
Okay, it sounds like a Katie Blake science lab. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Throwing the idea out there.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Kids are free admission for kids under 12, so families can come and enjoy and get their hands dirty.
All right, Meredith, thank you so much. Guys, we have so much more to talk about. We'll see you back here on the news at noon. Mark, Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, Max.
One of the few places left in San Antonio I have not yet visited.
I need
the
to
Briscoe.
go as well.
All right, sounds good. Justin, have you been yet?
The Briscoe.
All right, it's an awkward date. Thank you. 9:41. 81 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
And when we come back, Justin Horn, speaking of Justin, is taking us inside Natural Bridge Caverns as cavers discover new passages and chambers underground.
Just about 9:45. We're all familiar with Natural Bridge Caverns, right?
Yes, we are.
Did you know that the caverns continue to grow? That's due to new discoveries of passages and chambers.
Last week, an expedition went deep into the caverns for a discovery that could have extended the cave system by nearly 1,400 feet. So Justin Horn has the fascinating sights, sounds, and results of this nearly 16-hour mission.
It is hard to describe how incredible it feels to go where no human has ever before been.
Few people can make that claim, but experienced cavers Brad Weiss and his brother, along with their team, are now on that list. This video coming from a recent trip into a newly discovered cave called Wild Cave, found on their family's property. That discovery spurring a new expedition this week, with the belief that Wild Cave may connect to Natural Bridge Caverns. So they set their sights on the far northern reaches of the caverns, a not-so-easy 7-hour journey to get there. We talked to Brad just before they left.
It's a place called Hope's Mantle, and our hope is to connect to another cave system that we've recently discovered and explored that is only now 300 feet away from connecting.
Tantalizingly close. And the reason they wanted to make the trek to Hope's Mantle, which included very tight squeezes, traversing pools of water, and much more.
We'll be going through some very, very large passages as well. We'll be rappelling down pits and walking through deep mud. We'll be wading through several small lakes inside the cave.
Potentially adding another 1,400 feet and moving Natural Bridge Caverns up a heralded list.
It's going to kick us up to the 6th longest cave in the state.
But we've learned it wasn't to be. Weiss informing us that they hit an impasse at the very end, coming up just 250 feet short. They were so close to connecting the two caves that they could feel airflow coming through. Disappointing for the moment, but the brothers plan to try again and to keep exploring. That's what the family has done since the caves were first discovered in the 1960s.
We've got to continue to keep discovering because that's who we are. That's what we're all about.
Very interesting out there. I didn't even know initially how large it was.
Yeah, and they keep exploring. They keep finding new parts of these caves, on all the time. And so they're going into some of these crevices and finding new places in these caves, big areas, small areas, and it's pretty incredible.
And they're obviously professionals at this and have tamed any possible claustrophobia.
Yes, that's correct, because there are some tight squeezes. And I should note that a lot of these spots they're going to now probably won't be open to the public. Sure. You've been to Natural Bridge Caverns just because of the danger factor. But it is part of their brand to go and discover and keep discovering. And, Natural Bridge Caverns, it's huge and it's growing.
It is growing. All right.
Pretty incredible stuff.
Weather 101?
Yes, we got a question for you. For you guys, let's see if you can get this one. So what is the hottest temperature ever recorded in San Antonio?
In San Antonio, so that's at the airport. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's so close together. 109, 110, 111.
I had to make it hard on you guys.
So what's your guess, Dan?
I'm gonna either B or C. So I'm gonna just guess C.
I'm gonna guess D.
Okay. You said C?
I did.
Okay. Good job.
Yay!
See, your SAT training paid off. You always go with B or C, right?
Not all the time.
That was September 5th, 2000. We got up to 111. So we're not there. I show you this because it's good news, right? We don't have that in the forecast, but we do have this extreme heat. And we do need to check in on the aquifer. It's at 640.6 today. We are on the brink of dropping below that 640 number. Now, you see stage 3 on there. We are not there yet. You got to look at the 10-day average, and actually it's dropped down a little bit. It's now down below 644, but just barely. This is the important number. This is what would take us into stage 3 restrictions if that's what is decided. If we're talking SAWS here, and for SAWS customers, it's not a guarantee that once that number drops below 640 that we're going to go into stage 3. I don't want to cause any panic here or anything, but we're just pointing out that the aquifer is really starting to drop, and it's not in a good spot. And until we see rain, these numbers are going to keep coming down. Again, it would take it would take the city coming together with SAWS to decide to put us into stage 3. And that would mean every other week watering. But again, we're just not there. We'll keep you posted and let you know what happens with the Edwards Aquifer there. Right now, as we go outside, 80 degrees at the airport. Dew point is at 70. Southerly winds at about 13 miles per hour. The feels like number is 83. And temperatures 79 Kerrville, 79 Uvalde, 82 Carrizo Springs, 85 right now in Beeville. It's already very warm down there. And locally 79 Boulevardy, 79 Canyon Lake, 82 in New Braunfels. Cloud cover has pretty much already gone away here around San Antonio. We're still seeing some thicker clouds out west. And then as we look at the big picture here, there's some severe weather going on across parts of Oklahoma and northeast Texas. That all stays well north of us. And you look at the forecast highs today, 102 here in San Antonio, Midland, Del Rio, Laredo, down to Brownsville. It will be hot yet again. And heat advisories have been posted Midland, San Angelo, down towards the San Antonio area. And we're going to see that through 9 p.m. this evening. The setup is pretty much the same. Our ridge high pressure just doesn't want to budge. Everything's going up and around it. And you see these disturbances, they just staying too far to the north because that ridge is blocking everything. And it wobbles around a little bit, but it stays in place, and it's kind of building on itself at this point. That means our forecast is a dry and hot one. 91 degrees noontime. We're at 100 by 3 o'clock, 101 by 4 p.m., 102 by 5 o'clock. And then we'll fall back into the 90s this evening. Those winds will help us out a little bit. At least there is a breeze there. Southeasterly winds anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. 101 Wednesday, 101 Thursday, 102 Friday, 103 Saturday and Sunday. More records could be broken here along the way, but it is heat all the way into next week. We'll be right back.
And coming up tomorrow on GMSA at 9, her college plans changed after her mother became ill, and she became her caretaker.
But those difficult times only made her work that much harder. We'll introduce you to this young lady tomorrow morning as we continue our Great Grads series.
Good news here off of 281 at Bitters. This had been a problem spot for some time, but now we are seeing first responders getting ready to clear out traffic moving through there. Still seeing some issues, though. Don't keep that in mind that there is a slowdown, but this is where that crash was reported earlier off 281 and Tacoma. Keep in mind, this was reported at 6, a little after 6 this morning, and now we're finally seeing some resolution. So some good news, but unfortunately, we do know that it was a deadly crash involving one driver. Of course, that information is on our website at KSAT.com, but of course, better news for drivers out here who have to make their way along 281. Justin.
Stephen, thank you. 102 today. We'll see mostly sunny skies. This theme continues for, the foreseeable future. There's not much change in this forecast other than it gets a little hotter by the weekend, and we'll continue to see some heat indices also up there. 104, maybe 105. So just be extra careful. Heat advisories probably posted for much of the week.
Thank you, Justin. And if you live on the south side and you hear explosions throughout the morning, early afternoon, please do not be alarmed.
That's right. Police telling us that SAPD Bomb Squad will be conducting training detonations today, and that started at 9. It'll go on till 2 p.m. this afternoon.
That's right. Down there at the Academy grounds on San Antonio's south side.
That's right. It's going to be 12 to 15 small detonations, so quite a bit for this training exercise.
Thanks for tuning in.
Have a great day. We'll see y'all tomorrow.